Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Sunshine and Rain Tarot. Very happy to have you here. If you're returning, thank you once again for your support. And if you're new here, please subscribe, like, share, and so on. Well, you know the score anyway. There's other ways you can support me in the description below as well. So today I'm going to do a general reading. So it is for all who are watching. And the question I am asking is about your work prospects. How are your work prospects going forward? This is aimed at those who perhaps are looking to change their work, the current work they're doing. Those of you who are looking for work for whatever reason, you may have recently lost a job or something like that, so you're looking for something else to do. Someone who's perhaps looking to change career, that kind of situation. So I'm going to pull a few cards to see what the universe can let you know about, so to enlighten you with about how your work prospects are. How are your work prospects going forward? So how are the work prospects going forward for the collective, for their highest and greatest good, please? I'd like to have some cards to clarify that, please. Thank you. Okay, so to start off with, we have got the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this is being caught up in your mind. When it's in the upright like this, this is being caught up in your mind, your thoughts, your fears, and so on. And these can also be real fears. Okay, these can be real worries, real anxieties. Maybe for some of you, you may have lost your job recently, so this could be, how am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to feed the family? How am I going to put fuel in my car? That kind of situation. It could also be, am I going to have to move because I can't pay my rent? Those kind of fears and worries. However, with it being in reverse, that means that those fears and worries aren't there. They're no longer relevant. Okay, so you may have been worrying about these, so this does indicate some kind of change coming up, and let's hope that it's a good change. Perhaps you're going to be getting some kind of support in some way, whether it's through, like here in UK, through the universal credit system, or in your country, wherever it is you're watching, some kind of maybe support from the government. To help you, to tide you over the next while until you find some work, or perhaps you're going to find something new or start a new career, those kinds of things. So these worries that you had, which were perhaps blinding you and not enabling you to see clearly, these are dropping away now. You are able to see clearly. These worries, these anxieties which are manifesting in your life are probably still there, but you are seeing a way out. That's the big difference. You are seeing in a more clear vision kind of way. The blindfold has come off. You see that the bindings around your wrist are so loose you can shake them off, or you can use one of the saws to cut them off. So you're finding a way out. There's a gap in the saws you can just simply walk through. Okay, so you can take the blindfold off and walk through. You have the ability now to really envision what it is you want to do, and it could well be that you're going to be getting offers of work coming in, and this could be a new job, it could be a new career, it could be perhaps something to do with your existing work, being called back in because they need you, that kind of situation. Or, as I said, you may be getting some kind of help from the government or local authority or whatever it happens to be. We've also got the Death card, and the Death card obviously means something coming to an end, and then new cycle kind of starting up again. So it's a transformation. It's not death as in, that's the end of it and no more. This is a transformation. That something is happening in your life going forward. This is perhaps news coming in about a new opportunity, or perhaps you decided to actually change your career altogether, or start a new business, maybe something to do online, or you are able to partner up with someone that kind of situation and start a business, or your business gets a lifeline. I know there's a lot of concern at the moment with the new tighter restrictions here in UK about businesses, especially in the hospitality side of things, that they may have to close down in a few weeks' time because they're not getting the footfall, or they're having to close altogether for 2 or 3 weeks now because of tighter restrictions because of the area that they live in, and some may not survive that, so they're worried about that, and obviously they're asking for support from the government, and they may get that, and some are getting some kind of support in that way, so I know certainly for those who are employing those businesses that do have to close down in these areas, the government are supporting them to a degree. Perhaps not quite as generous as it was with the furlough scheme, but they're getting some support to keep their employees, at least help them continue to have some money. But these businesses, obviously, they've still got to pay out rent and pay for stock and all kinds of things like that. So they've still got outgoings. So they may be worried about that. And that's like on the business side. In your work kind of situation, it could well be that because you are employed perhaps in hospitality or entertainment or somewhere along those lines, a small company or something like that, that they are going to get some governmental help which allows you to work at least a few hours, if not full time. So things are changing, your life is changing. You may have found new work in a totally different sector from what you'd normally do, and you're able to transform your life in that way, and then you'd be able to really walk away from these thoughts, these worries, these fears, these anxieties that you've been having over the last while. So some kind of transformation is definitely coming in. We've also got the High Priestess, and that's in reverse. And the High Priestess is normally very mysterious, isn't she? She's the one that speaks in tongues, and it's a kind of an oracle kind of situation. She doesn't tell you the full story, doesn't give you absolute clarity, she doesn't give you the full answer. A lot of it's to do with intuition, and you have to try and figure out what the answer is from what she says. And I'm not saying you've gone to see a High Priestess, but you're able to figure out the answers. You're able to put the clues together. Perhaps you've had other readings, on here on YouTube, and they've talked about work and so on. And you've watched several readings, and you've been able to take a little bit from each of those, including my reading here today, and you're able to put a picture together that looks good. It looks like you're going to be moving forward, transforming your life in some way. Perhaps you're going to take up tarot reading yourself. And why not, indeed? That's what I've done in the more recent times. I've taken up tarot reading in the hopes of building it into a good, thriving business that I can live off. It's a good thing to do if you've got a passion for it. My caveat with that, and my word of advice with that, would be don't do it for the money. Just don't do tarot or any spiritual practice, for that matter, just to get money. And we get so many things, spiritual practices, and you guys in America, you do this all the time. You monetize everything, and that kind of spoils it, because you're so focused on the money, you're not really using that energy to help others in the way that you should be doing. Because if you did, then the money would come anyway. Okay, if you're doing it in a good way, in a proper way, by focusing on the money, you kind of pushing your business away, because it's all about the money, and yeah, we need money, we need to live and so on, but if you're obsessed with money, you're more into the devil kind of energy then, aren't you? And you're not really realizing your dreams. So don't focus on the money, but that's if you're going to like a spiritual side of things. For others of you, you're going to get, or you've already received, a message of some kind. Okay, so you know where you want to go. Now, are you resisting that message perhaps in some way, because maybe it's in an area that you don't know about, it's completely new, so there's a little bit of fear about it, you're maybe overthinking things a little bit? Or are you going to go right in with it and be transformed by it? because it's going to really transform your life in some way. So at the moment it's looking good. So I'm going to pull another couple of cards here just to see what the immediate future is. If you take this as like your present situation, your current situation, okay? Let's have a couple of cards just to see what the more immediate future is going to be. And it's looking very good. First of all, you've got the Ace of Cups. So you're going to get a wonderful offer coming in, you know, that really could transform your life in so many different ways. You know, and it could be a job offer, it could be a career offer or change of career, like I said, but it's work. And even if it's something that you haven't done before and it's minimum wage, but you do it anyway, just so you can pay the bills until you get back on your feet again, and then you can look for something perhaps more suitable for yourself. Now, there is the saying, beggars can't be choosers. You know, you take any job, even if it means working behind a counter in McDonald's, you know, pot bashing in a restaurant, waiting on, anything like that. I don't care if you're a former CEO or business owner, you do what you have to do, you know, to put food on the table for yourself or for your family, which would, you know, depends on whether you've got family or not. Doesn't matter. To pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to put fuel in your car, to pay the bills. They come first, you know, before your entertainment, before your trips to the pub and things like that. Get your priorities right. So you've got this opportunity coming in, this gift from the universe that is being offered to you out of love, because cups are about the emotions. Yeah, it's about the heart, and this is being offered to you out of love, and this could well be from a friend. Perhaps they want to help you out in some way. Okay. Have got then the King of Swords in reverse. Okay. This way up, right way up. King of Swords is someone who's logical, who's uses more of his intellect to make judgments rather than with the heart. He's a learned person. He's a scholar. You know, he's the lawyer type person in that way. You know, he uses words and the pen as his swords, as his weapons of choice, rather than physical swords. Okay, so in this way up, you know, and he's very fair. In this way up, perhaps a judgment's already been passed. Is what I'm getting. You know, in that you've been offered, you've asked for help, and you've been offered this help. You know, this is what's coming in your immediate future. You're going to get this offer, and it's been suggested that you accept the offer. And that's what this King in reverse is saying. You know, because he's still the fair judge, he's still the logical judge. It's not just because he's in reverse doesn't mean to say that he's illogical or rash or anything like that. It's far from it. You know, the King, you know, he's very, you know, experienced in what he does. So even on his negative days, he's still experienced in what he does. You know, he's not going to do some kind of student-like behaviour, as in running around and acting silly, you know, because you're full of the joys of life. He's more than that. You know, he's going to stay logical. He's still going to be fair. So this judgment has been made, and the universe has said, this is what we are offering you, and we advise you then to take it, because we believe this is the best way forward for you. Okay, so I'm just going to get another card now for the outcome. See what the outcome will be for this. So what will the outcome of this offer and of this job situation, this work situation for the collective? What will be the outcome, please? Thank you. And you have got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so the knights are the chivalrous ones, the ones who are classed to be impulsive, but you know, they take orders as well. You know, but once they get going, it's very hard to stop them. Many knights were pretty much like berserkers back in the day. You know, and once they were given the order, right, go in and charge in, and the way they went, they were very impulsive in that way, and very cutting, you know, They use their swords as judgments. But this is in reverse, so you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be taking things steady. You're going to be looking at the situation, and this is really a message saying, accept what's offered. Okay, don't spend too long looking at it. This is like a one-off opportunity in this sense. But it is only a temporary opportunity, and this is why the Knight's in reverse, because it's not long term. It's in and then out again. So it is only a temporary situation. It's a temporary stopgap, and this could well be, say, if it's like local authority where it happens to be offering you some kind of financial support, it's not going to be there all the time. It may be just some kind of grant, but it's not going to be there. It's going to help you out in the short term. If it's a job offer, it may well be just part-time work, but it's something, and it could lead to even better things, in the future. If it's a change in career, this could be like a temporary opportunity to accept that and to change that career that you're in now to wherever this happened. I mean, it could well be that the training doesn't take that long, maybe a few weeks, and then you'll be able to carry on as normal. Or, for some of you, basically it's going to be taking on a menial kind of work, low paid, full-time or otherwise, just to sort of fill the gap as a stopgap until something better comes along. And this will probably see you through Christmas into the new year, perhaps. It could be like a Christmas type of job. Now, I did one of them a couple of years back where I worked with a company, it was a retail company, sort of did most of the stuff online, but they had like a physical presence where people came and they could do some shopping and they collected what they ordered and stuff like that. And it was only for 3 months. It was a short contract, but I enjoyed doing it. It was good fun, while I was there. But I knew that at the end of it, it was a very slim chance that I'd be taken on full time, but I wasn't. 3 months was done, and then that was it. Because they had their full time permanent staff, and that could be that kind of situation. With this Knight of Swords, you see a lot of blue here. That's calmness. It's a calm situation. So Knights, as I said, when they're in the upright, you can see he's ready to go into battle. He's been given his orders. Knights don't charge off into battle without having orders. The only time they'll do that, charge into a situation to defend themselves or to rescue a damsel in distress, is when they're out on their own on a quest or something like that, and they have no one else to give them orders. They have to make their own decisions. But 9 times out of 10 the knights were ordered or under the orders of the king or the queen, because these were the royal protectors and so on. They may have had a lord knight in charge of them or something like that, but even a lord knight would be under direct sort of orders of the king or queen, the royalty. So they didn't just charge in of their own volition, but when they did, obviously they went straight in. There was no stopping them, because once you get a horse up running, it's very difficult to stop. For those of you who ride horses know. But that's not happening. You're not charging in. It's not charging in the sense. It's taking a step back and viewing the situation, and making a decision to tread lightly, if you like. So you are being offered a situation that's been suggested by the universe that you accept it, at least for the time being, because it is only a temporary situation. Alright guys, that is the reading I get for you. It looks like it's not all doom and gloom. For those of you who are looking for work, you are going to be offered something, but it's up to you. Everybody's got the right to have a choice. It's up to you whether you take what's offered or not, even if it is only for like a temporary time. If you're looking to change career, I'm being kind of told now there may not be much out there at this moment in time that's on offer. You may have to wait maybe to next year for that before you change career, and maybe stick with what you've got right now. Sort of swallow your pride if you like, and just stick with it, even though you may hate it, detest it, or whatever. Stick with it because it's paying the bills. Unless there's an absolutely mega reason why you need to leave, maybe because of harassment or abuse or whatever. That's a different situation. We're not going to go into that. But if you just want to change career because you don't like what you're doing, I would say that the advice here is to stick with it for now, and just don't take the first thing that jumps up just to change career. But for those of you who are looking for work, there is something coming in that could transform your life, but it's up to you whether you want to take it or not. So changes are afoot, because we have got the death card here, so there is change coming in one shape, form or another. Alright, and as I said, this is a reading for those who already have work looking to change, or those who are have no work and are looking for work. It's not an overall reading for those who have work or whatever, they're going to lose their job or not. That's nothing, because you have got the Ace of Cups coming in here. So those of you who are looking for work, there's an opportunity on the way to you. It's up to you whether you accept it or not. Okay, and that is what I get for you guys. How do you feel about that? Leave me a comment, let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you and speaking to you once again very soon. Bye bye now.